Assalamu alaikum, Black Power, all power to the people. Family, this is your brother Shaka Shakur, and I'm coming at you live and direct now. This is not an African talk though. This is just a one-on-one. First of all, I cannot start this without a serious send out, a shout out of appreciation to the entire African family and the entire human family. During this ordeal I'm going through, which many of you are aware of, I have got support from people in various places. Some places I didn't even think I would get support from. I was solely surprised. Places such as way out in Bangladesh, places like Taiwan, shout out to my brother Jackie from Taiwan, just places like that, Istanbul, London, etc. And, this is all due to the hard work of not just myself, but of the collective of people who are affiliated with the program that we call the People's Survival Program, which you always hear me talk about. You've seen clips and things of that nature, which I'm happy to announce is expanding. Now, the People's Survival Program is in Queens. It is giving birth or being ready to be birthed in the Bronx and, of course, Harlem. We are happy to announce that the People's Survival Program now has a chapter or a charter of it in Taiwan. We had a brother who came here from Taiwan named Jackie. He came to the People's Survival Program, our food, clothing, medical drive. He was so inspired that within a month's time, he was able to call home, use the video, use what he had witnessed, and rally the people of Taiwan. And now they are doing the same thing on the ground in Taiwan. So we got to say all power to the people to that. This fight, this struggle, this is a worldwide struggle. This is a human struggle. There's no one out there, I don't care what your belief system is or where you come from, you cannot argue with the fact that people need to have a proper meal, people need proper housing, people need to be treated like humans, and we just have to understand that. No one can argue with decent medical care. No one can argue with food, clothing, and shelter. So these are the things that we're doing. We have to uplift ourselves. Also, I want to give a shout out, to Michael Tarif Warren and his wife, Sister Evelyn. They're doing their thing. The brother's my lawyer. He's on the job. He's wonderful. Again, to Sister Betty Dobson and Brother James McIntosh and everyone else at CMOTAP and everyone who came there, thank you for the ability to just to come out and give me the ability to see that people care. Because in this struggle, we need to see people care just as much as we care. And it's a refreshing thing to know you're not alone. As you all know, following the internet, we're trying to raise this money to pay for the work of our lawyer, Michael Tarif Warren. I say ours because he's the people's lawyer. We're going to raise this $5,000. We've already raised half, and we're going to raise the rest of it. And later on in this clip, I'll post where you can actually send your donations if you want to. But this is not just about me and my case. Again, this is a thanks to the community for stepping up. Sister Agnes and Sister Mia, the Dynamic 2, the mother-daughter team, they did their thing. Brother Shep McDaniels for putting out the call. Councilman Charles Barron and his wife, Sister Inez, for showing up. This is the kind of community we're talking about, and this is the kind of support that we're talking about. Because it could be me today, and it could be you tomorrow. Either way, they got to know that when one of us are in trouble, all of us are in trouble. When one of us suffers, all of us suffer. Now, with all that said, let's get to the point at hand, which is the work that we do. I got to give again a shout out to my Mayasa family in New Jersey, for kicking off their school. I think it's the Youth Enrichment Program. Boom, following the framework of the PSP. The brother Divine Allah in Trenton with his, program with the youth, and the Ukusu program, which you've heard me and the brother talk about, which is the forerunner to the PSP. These things are going all over the place. Kalanji and the brothers and sisters in Atlanta, FTP, these are the type of movements we need. We don't need movements of lip service anymore. Straight up, we need movements that actually produce something. Right now we're in the process. Again, this is the flyer for those who don't know. If you see this flyer, support this flyer. This is the People's Survival Program flyer, and it just talks about all the things we're doing and that we're going to do. Brother Shep teaches a legal aid class. Well, really, it's an anti-police terror workshop. Again, shouts out to Brother Jazz Hayden, who's been holding it down with the new Jim Crow organization, and they've been fighting against, these illegal stops and frisks and detainments, and he was a victim of retaliation because of that. But we came out strong to the courthouse. Jazz, we love you. Keep it up. And if y'all ain't doing nothing, you got to tune into All Things Harlem because he puts it down. This is the kind of work that we need to do. And then I'm gonna send a special shout out and of not just like thank you, but advice to the young people at Occupy Wall Street. Now, some people will say, well, and I've even said, like, a lot of that struggle is not our business. It's not our struggle on some levels, but it is struggle. And we have to be wise enough to know, yes, I'm not going to put a lot of energy into it, but at the same time, I recognize it. So this goes out. People say, well, I'm a black nationalist. I don't this, that, and other. I don't care about white people, whatever, whatever. Let me tell you something. And I'm telling you now, I'm not in this for kudos. I'm not in this for popularity. I love black people. I'm all about my people. But hell, if his babies are going to rise up against him, you damn right I'm going to tell his babies how to rise up against him. I have to do this. It's my duty. When we see them moving and organizing, don't be scared to go up to them and say, look, man, no, you can't help me in my community. But you can help, and here's how you can help. X, Y, Z. Brother Malcolm X, El-Hajj Malik El-Shabazz laid it down for us in the end of the book, The Autobiography of Malcolm X by Alex Haley. He goes on to say that if it's one thing that he regretted in his life is when that young girl in Boston, that white girl, asked him, what could I do? And he said nothing. He said he regretted that because he should have said something and then told her what to do. If it's no more than go into your white community and tell the truth about the black community. Organize some more white people think like you to continue to fight the racism so I can worry about taking care of my community. There's always a job for them. Don't be so caught up in your black nationalism and your Africanism that you're scared to go tell white people what time it is without yelling and screaming, cussing and foaming at the mouth. We're intelligent beings. We can lay our political views down intelligently and maintain our blackness at the same time. It has been done and it can be done. I'm not an advocate of standing in an all-black room talking black to black. Come on, man. You got to cross them and go across the street and tell them what time it is, while building on our side. What we are about and what I am about is building for our people. We need to organize and organize in a serious way. We don't need no more lectures, man. Straight up. Dr. Khalid, all the greats, they did all that. The last of that regime is the Farrakhan's, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan's, the Dr. Jeffries. That's their thing. We are the generation of work, Kazi. We are the generation of Kazi. Let's get to building these schools and things of that nature. Let's get to building these gardens and connecting these gardens so we can really stop getting food from there. I don't care if you're a vegetarian or a meat eater. You're still getting your food from the same enemy, and none of it is no good. We got to start linking up with these farms. Hell, you eat beef, get beef from a black farm. There's black farmers out there. We can do this if we work together. And one of the projects that we are going to be taking off this summer, inshallah, is that we're going to be pushing for these urban gardens that exist. We're going to start taking young people in general, not just young people, people in general, and giving you the skills of agriculture, the science of agriculture, and then moving you other places where you can get a bigger hand at it. We need that department set up. Stop sending our kids to school to be basketball players. We need some biologists, some chemists, we need botanists, those things. We need geography, people who are into geology and geography, we need that. Scientists, we need to enhance our science department. We need to build these schools. Don't be intimidated because you don't have a 5-day school. You think you're not a school. 1 day is fine, man. The Jiname University is a 1-day school, and it's beautiful. We teaching languages. We're doing our thing. And let me tell you something. You don't got to be no professor in a language to teach it. Get a book. I'm teaching Swahili. I am not a Swahili professional. I don't have no degrees in Swahili. I can read. I can go in a book and study and then come teach what I study. That's all teaching is, family. Really, you just spend a bunch of years concentrated learning and then the rest of your life regurgitating everything you learn. That's all teaching is. You can do it. So I want to highlight, like I said, what is going on with me. Please don't become disillusioned because I'm not. Let's take this energy and move with it. What I see is happening is through the persecution of few, the many are organizing. And we need to do that. We need to organize. Remember, black man, just because you're black does not make you inferior. And this is to the white man. Just because you're white doesn't make you superior. We are all humans. Bottom line, we are humans. And we share a common thread called humanity. Some people are going to say, oh, that's soft. I don't really care about now, because I'm an African and I'm proud of my African. But in saying I'm African, I have to understand that I am the progenitor of all creation. I am the progenitor of the universe. So somebody better start talking this balance. Somebody better start. I'm hearing a lot of people talking this murder, kill, this, that, and the other. I don't know, family. I'm not seeing that. So let's stop talking like that. Let's stop it. Let's get serious. Let's get for real. Let's stop running around putting on masks, pretending like we're something that we're not. Let's be for real. Do what you can do on the level. Play your lane. Everybody stop trying to be the one and just be some. Some people who are concerned. Let's do this together. So again, this is a shout out for all the people who have supported me, who came out to support Brother Jazz Hayden. My next court date is February 15th in the Bronx Criminal Court. That's on 161st between Sherman and Sheridan. The entrance is on 161st. It's Part B. That's the second floor. 9 a.m. sharp, February 15th, we're going to occupy the courthouse. I'm going to tell you, I've invited everybody who's concerned to come out and do that. We got to start doing this on a regular. We got to start showing up for one another, not just for a Shaka or a Jazz, just for anybody. I was at Jazz's court case, and they'll be at mine, and we'll be at yours if you need us. We got to start working together. Cross those lines, organize. To all the people who have participated in the People's Survival Program, thank you very much. Asante Sana, Shukran. Keep it up, man. We need that. The people out there appreciate it. I want to report that last 2 Fridays ago, we had our monthly one for January, and we were able to give out, man, at least 20 bags of coats. Thanks to the brother Amiri. Shout outs to Amiri for coming through with all those coats. And also shout outs to brother Abdul Rauf for bringing in coats. I heard the National Action Network brought us coats. That's what's up. We appreciate it. We're doing it. Also, support the anti-genocide campaign. Newark has one, Trenton has one, and we'll be starting one in New York. We're going to address seriously the solutions to this genocide called violence. Yes, we want them to put the guns down, but we got to have something to offer as soon as they drop that gun. So we're working on creating programs to help our brothers and sisters who have felonies, so that you don't think the only option is the streets. We're going to work on things to get you back in the loop. Things that deal with getting those getting those cases closed if possible, or just getting you those certificates of disability so you can get back in the game. For all the young people, these warrants, we're going to work on putting together a department that deals with getting these warrants cleared, man, so you don't have nothing blocking you. You won't get picked up and all of a sudden you got a warrant, now you're locked up. We're going to stop all that. This is what we're focusing on. We got a women's circle that is growing. We need sisters to get down. Brothers too. This women's circle on Wednesday nights is not run by just sisters. It's sisters and brothers, but it's aimed to the sisters. This is every Wednesday. Every Tuesday is the legal class. Monday I teach a cultural class. All of this is coming out of room 3201 at City College in the NAC building. I can't stress it. I'm going to post it all at the end of this. But come on out, get involved. And if you don't want to come there, tell me where you at and I'll come there. Also, to Mama Makita, out in Ohio, doing their thing. PSP is out there now. It's spreading. It's spreading. Just like we can occupy, we can protest, but we got to come up with some solutions in the meantime. And first of all, we got to deal with the 12 jewels, and the first 3 is food, clothing, shelter. If we don't deal with that, we're not going nowhere. Also, big ups to my brother from Zulu Nation, Brother Yoda, and his pops. They put together our successful health campaign where we are giving people blood pressure tests and things of that nature on the spot. He even got a machine to put it on your wrist so you don't got to pull your cold up in the cold. We're outside right now doing it, but we're going to step it up. And in the words, in the immortal words of someone I hold dear and study, Stephen Biko, the words are, the best tool in the hands of the oppressor, or the most powerful tool in the hands of the oppressor, is the mind of the oppressed. Free your mind, people. A lot of the ways we thinking, I know you think you're pro-black and you got it all figured out, and and all that African, I'm down with that too, but you thinking in the box sometimes. Don't be a narrow-minded nationalist. Don't become so African that you put yourself in a box and nobody wants to mess with you. You hate everything because it's not on the agenda. Check your spirit, check your soul, man. Don't box yourself out of society. Understand that even in my Africanism, I am part of a greater whole. And I have to understand that greater whole and where I fit into that greater picture. This is what you have to understand, and we just got to push forward. So, not to prolong this anymore, tune into the African Talks that'll come up. This will probably be under the same thing, even though it's not an official African Talk. It's just a shout to my people. We love you. Keep it up. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you don't even like me. I love you. Let's make this happen. Let's save our black people. Then after we get our blackness together, let's work on saving humanity. Because if we don't change the condition of humanity, no one will survive. No one. I don't care what color you are. If you don't change the conditions of humanity, we will destroy the entire earth. We have to change our conditions of humanity. We have to have more compassion, more understanding, more logic, more reasoning, and less emotion. When I say emotion, less blind rage. Just because you are who you are, I hate you. Because see, that hate, that infectious type of hate, it can bounce back if you're not careful. So understand, have a careful warning, have a great caution, but don't fall into the pits of blind rage, because that doesn't get anyone anywhere. And in the words of Buddha, it is the wrong action is based on the mind. And if we change the mind of the wrongdoer, then the wrongdoing cannot exist. Let me repeat that. There is no wrong deed. There is only a wrong mind. And then when we change the mind of the wrongdoer, then the wrong deed cannot exist no more. Now you take that back to the lab and figure out, but that's where we at. We're about changing the conditions of the people so that the people will change their thinking, and in changing their thinking, they will gravitate to a higher level. We're not into the talking. Change the condition, change the mind. That's where we at. All power to the people.